Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal, President's 100 tab, Combat Action Badge, Driver and Mechanic Badge, Mechanic Driver and Mechanic Badge with Driver Wheeled Vehicle Clasp, Driver and Mechanical Badge with Mechanical Clasp. While serving in Iraq, Sergeant Major Tucker was injured and was awarded the Purple Heart. Brian retired after receiving combat-related injuries. He served his country for 29 years, from 1995 to January 24. Marine Corps during the Korean conflict from 1949 to 1952. Harold's daughter told us that when her father, Harold, was separated from his unit in the jungle, the military began drafting MIA paperwork. Fortunately, he found his way back. He was also responsible for preventing a fellow soldier from getting blown up in a foxhole. Corporal Fisher is the recipient of many decorations, including Combat Action Ribbon, Navy Unit Accommodation, Naval Defense Service Medal, Korean Service Medal with 3 stars, Republic of Korea Presidential Unit Citation, United Nations Service Medal, and a Rifle and Marksmanship Badge. Can I get the Hansler family up here, please? All right, we've got 4 of them. I'm going to read all 4. I'm going to try to start with the oldest, which is Frank. Frank Hansler Jr. served the United States Army from 1942 to 1945. During World War II, he served in Tunisia, Sicily, Normandy, northern France, the Rhineland, Ardennes, and Central Europe. Among Private First Class Hansler's decorations are the European, African, Middle Eastern Theater Campaign Ribbon, the Bronze Star, and the Purple Heart. Hansler served the United States Coast Guard from 1972 to 2002. Frank W. Hansler served the United States Air Force from 1968 to 1972 during the Vietnam era. Staff Sergeant Frank Hansler received the National Defense Service Medal. Private Jenna Hansel clearly served the United States. Oh, I'm sorry. Private Jenna Hansel Cleary served the United States Army from 2006 to 2009 during the Global War on Terror and was a chemical operations specialist. She attended school at Fort Leonard Wood for training and was stationed at Fort Hood, Texas with the 1st Cavalry ACI Unit, Echo Company, Air Cavalry Brigade. Private Cleary served in Iraq at Camp Taji for Operation Iraqi Freedom. Among her decorations are the Army Commendation Medal, National Defense Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, and the Iraq Campaign Medal with Campaign Star.
And next we have, I don't know if you're close here, Teresa Tapper. Is Jacob here? If I could ask you both to come up. I'm going to start with Mom. This is the mom and son. Teresa Tapper joined the U.S. Army with a delayed entry in the fall of 1974. She did her basic training at Fort McClellan, Alabama. During basic, it was announced the Women's Army Corps, WAC, was transitioning to the U.S. Army Corps, and the ceremony was held to officiate the transition. The WAC remained a separate unit from the U.S. Army until 1978, when male and female forces were integrated. Teresa served during the Vietnam era and achieved the rank of Specialist 4. Teresa enlisted in the 2-year train and travel program. Her military operations specialty was a generator operator, training at Fort Belvoir, Virginia. She was then stationed overseas in Stuttgart, Germany at Kelly Barracks. There, she initially worked in the auto shop for the transportation company, but then was assigned to civilian job duty at a youth center. She completed the duration of her time in Stuttgart, Germany as a night manager, and she currently works for the town of Stoughton. And Jacob Lawrence Tapper graduated from Stoughton High School, class of 2006, and went on to receive an associate's degree from Massasoit in 2009. Shortly after, Jacob enlisted in the U.S. Army in August 2010. From Fort Knox, he went to El Paso, Texas, and then to Iraq. His troop was there during Operation New Dawn and was one of the last troops to come home in December 2011. Among Jacob's decorations are the Army Commendation Medal, 2nd Award, Army Achievement Medal, 2nd Award, Army Good Conduct Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal with the Campaign Star, and the Army Service Ribbon.
Edward Kelleher served in the U.S. Marine Corps from 1945 to 1946 during World War II. As written by his daughter, we are very proud that our father served in the U.S. Marines during World War II. After his discharge, he continued serving the community as a Stoughton firefighter. He was a wonderful husband, father, and a friend to all that had a pleasure of knowing him. And I did know him. And that's his own family. Army from 1952 to 1960 with the 84th Tank Battalion and attained the rank of Colonel. Corporal, what did I say? Colonel? Corporal's better than Colonel anyway. Yes. Stoughton resident, was born on January 16, He is a graduate of Stoughton High School, class of 1966. Prior to his graduation, Mark enlisted in the United States Army because he was too young under the age of 18. His mother had to sign his enlistment. Mark took the oath of office on July 26, 1966. Mark trained for a year prior to his deployment to Vietnam. He was an infantry soldier fighting the Vietnamese and the Viet Cong in Vietnam's Central Highlands. Mark served 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. Sergeant Hausman has received many decorations for his service and is one of the most decorated veterans in our community. He was awarded 2 Bronze Stars, an Air Medal, and many other awards and ribbons. Mark lives with his wife Marilyn in Stoughton, has been married for more than 50 years. He is retired after a career in financial services. Mark volunteers at the Stoughton Food Pantry and sits on the town's Board of Assessors.
One of the things that I noticed about it is a sense of place, that all of us grew up in this town, and it formed us to the way we are today as adults. We learned how to be citizens, work with each other, all that sort of stuff. And I just saw it in the room, that all these people that, are so special to us had a sense of place in that place in this town. So thanks.
Family of John Fullerton. John F. Fullerton served in the Army Air Corps from August 1942 to November 1945 during World War II and achieved the rank of Staff Sergeant. Sergeant Fullerton was awarded the following decorations for his service: the Asiatic Pacific Theater Campaign Ribbon, American Theater Campaign Ribbon, Good Conduct Medal, and the Victory Medal. Dolphy family, come on up, please. Friend John Landolfi served the United States Army from 1952 to 1954 during the Korean conflict and achieved the rank of corporal. Among Corporal Landolfi's decorations are the Korean Service Medal with 1 Bronze Star, United States Service Medal, and the National Defense Service Medal. Family of Ed Carroll, come on up, please. In June of 1966, Ed Carroll, graduated from Stoughton High School. Shortly after his graduation, he enlisted in the United States Air Force, where he served 4 years. During those years, after basic training, he attended tech school in Texas. After training, he was assigned to Tarawan and Cameron Bay and other air bases in South Vietnam. Ed worked on C-130 aircraft as a crew chief for 13 months. Sergeant Carroll received the following decorations for his service: the National Defense Service Medal, Armed Forces Medal, Vietnam Service Medal, Republic of Vietnam Service Medal, Good Conduct Medal, and the Air Force Outstanding Unit Award. After returning to the States, he was stationed in New Jersey and then to Abilene, Texas. He returned home to Stoughton after his honorable discharge. He and his wife, Kathy Roach, were married in 1968 and spent 32 years as a firefighter, lieutenant, and then retiring as chief of the Stoughton Fire Department. Family of Richard Tobin. Dick Tobin served in the U.S. Navy during World War II on the aircraft carrier USS Lady as a Navy fireman first class. Dick was an active member of the Veterans of Foreign Legion Wars post-1645 for many years. Served the United States Army from 1942 to 1946 during received are the Victory Medal, Philippine Liberation Ribbon, Asiatic Pacific Theater Campaign Ribbon, and American Theater Campaign Ribbon. The family of Joseph Silva, please come up. Joseph Silva entered the U.S. Army at the age of 20. He was Staff Sergeant in Company A, 609th Tank Destroyer Battalion. He served his country from 1942 to 1945 during World War II. Private Silva served in the Rhineland, the Ardennes, Central Europe, and he was awarded the European, African, Middle Eastern Theater Campaign Ribbon. Upon his return to the United States from the United States Army, he and his brother Anthony owned and operated Shell Service Station on Washington Street in Stoughton until their retirement in the early 90s. Joe Shell was beloved by the Stoughton community and loved by his family. Family of George Slater, please come up. George O. Slater served in the U.S. Army from 1950 to 1953 during the Korean conflict. He achieved the rank of sergeant and earned several decorations, including the United Nations Service Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Korean Service Medal with 3 bronze stars and 2 overseas bars. As quoted by his daughter, I would like to say that my 94-year-old dad is a patriot through and through. He is very proud of his military service. Up until just a short time ago, he would hand out poppies and still attend VFW functions. The family of Walter Loud, please come up. Just a quick story about Walter. I was a recruiter in the National Guard. He was in the Navy Reserve. He came in and joined the National Guard. His first drill, he came in, they gave him all of this equipment, suspenders, backpack, pistol belt. He walks by my office, he goes, "What the hell is all of this crap?" He goes, "In the Navy, they gave me a sling. What was it, a hammock? That was about it." Walter Loud enlisted in the U.S. Navy in June of 1971 to June of 1975. He served on the USS Kolsch, did I say that right? And earned the National Defense Service Medal while in the Navy. Walter's military service did not end with his service in the Navy. He later served in the U.S. Army from February 23 to May of 24 and was ordered to active duty in support of Operation Enduring Iraqi Freedom and served in Kuwait. Among his achievements, he was awarded the following: the Armed Forces Service Medal, the Army Achievement Medal, 2nd Award, Army Reserve Components Achievement Medal, 2nd Award, National Defense Medal, 2nd Award, Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Armed Forces Reserve Medal with an M device, and the Army Service Medal. Please come up. Mark Lydon's biography was written by his daughter. Mark Lydon was born March 3rd, 1989 in Carrow Gap, Galway, Ireland. He left Ireland and immigrated to the United States and became a naturalized citizen in September 1960. At the age of 28, he enlisted in the U.S. Army as a PFC in Company F, 14 Engineers LR, with a specialty of fireman. He served in World War I from 1917 to 1919 in France as a train engineer on a small gauge railroad network tracks through France's countryside. He earned the World War I Victory Medal with Asni Man Battle Class, the Meuse Argonne Battle Class and Sony Defensive Battle Class in the US and the World War I Victory Button. Upon discharge in 1990, he married Nora McDonough and had 2 daughters, Mary and Teresa. He moved to Stoughton in 1960 upon retirement from the New Haven Railroad train engineer in Boston to be with his 2 married daughters and families, Mary Lyden Hart and Teresa Lyden Riley. He was a great storyteller and loved to recite poems that he learned in grade school. Mark passed in 1982 at the age of 92.
Grandfather was in World War I. I think he's the only one yet to be represented by World War I, but he was an immigrant and he became naturalized and then volunteered for the Army to help the U.S. So that says a lot.
Would the family of Cyril Stanton Lewis please come up? Cyril Stanton Lewis Jr. served in the United States Navy from 1946 to 1948 during World War II. He was a seaman first class and was awarded the World War II Victory Medal. Born in Stoughton, the son of Flora and Cyril Stanton Lewis, 6 sisters, Elise, Eleanor, Evelyn, Esther, Elaine, and Mildred. How did the M get in there? Attended Stoughton Public Schools grade 1 through 8, graduated from Norfolk Agricultural High School in 1945. Served as a seaman first class in the U.S. Navy from March 16, 1946 to January 12, 1948. Attended boot camp at Camp Perry, Virginia, then was shipped to Maui as a carpenter in the construction battalion for 6 months. Spent his remaining time on board the aircraft carrier USS Tarawa as a radio gunner in the rear seat of a SB-2C Helldiver. The U.S. Tarawa toured the Pacific and stopped at Pearl Harbor, Guam, Saipan, and other Pacific islands. A lifelong resident of Stoughton, 77 years. Married Helen Marie Catalano in 1954, also a lifelong resident of Stoughton. Her 4 brothers, Jack, Pat, Paul, and Harold, all served in the armed forces. 4 sons, Gary, Brian, Doug, Mark, and 8 grandchildren, 3 great-grandchildren, 1 great-great-grandchild. Heavy equipment operator for Local 4 in the Union, business owner, Meadowbrook Campground in Easton, and a true jack of all trades, artist, carpenter, horticulturist, mason, landscaper, a great husband and father and grandfather.
So our father, Stan, his name's, he called him Stan, or people called him Stan, and my mom, Helen, were lifelong residents of Stoughton. So my mother had all brothers, my dad had all sisters. So on my mother's side, all of my uncles served. And by the way, thank you very much for doing all this. We really appreciate it. And my Uncle Pat, my Uncle Harold, my Uncle Beatty, my Uncle Mo, Eldon Morrill, and my Aunt Mary all have banners in the town, which it's special to drive around town. And thank you to all the veterans here. We appreciate it.
With the family of Eno Olivan, please come up. Eno Olivan Jr. served the United States Air Force from 1964 to 1968 during Vietnam. He attained the rank of Sergeant First Class. Among his decorations are the National Defense Service Medal, Good Conduct Medal, Armed Forces Medal, Vietnam Service Medal, Service Star. He currently resides in Lakeville, Mass. and is a member of the John F. Glass VFW Post 2188, the American Legion Post 40, and a member of the Middleborough Elks, and also previously served as a member of the Honor Guard from Middleborough. Leo F. Rhodes served in the United States Army from 1942 to 1945. He was stationed in the Ardennes, the Rhineland, and Central Europe during World War II. Sergeant Roach was awarded the Bronze Star and the European Middle Eastern Service Medals. With the family of Eldon Morrell, please come up. Eldon Morrell was a lifelong resident of Stoughton. Born on March 1st, 1923, he grew up on his family's milk and egg farm. He attended Stoughton High School and graduated from Stoughton High School 1942. Following graduation, Eldon entered the military, serving in the U.S. Air Corps during World War II. He was a ball turret gunner in the 15th Air Force with the 451st Bombardment Group. His combat missions were in the European, African, and Middle Eastern campaign, flying over 35 sorties with the B-24 Liberated Group. He earned the rank of Staff Sergeant, as well as various awards, decorations, and campaign medals. Prior to his deployment overseas in 1943, Eldon married his sweetheart, Molly Lewis. Together they established their home in Stoughton, where they raised a family of 4 children. Eldon and Millie were married for 59 years until they both passed in 2012. Ronald Drago was born 8/10/1942 in Somerville, Mass. He lived in Stoughton for most of his life. He was a 1960 graduate of Stoughton High School. He was a dedicated Marine who served for 36 years. He did 2 tours in Vietnam and 1 tour in the Persian Gulf. He continued his life of service, becoming a Stoughton police officer from 1971 until his retirement in 1999. And he served as the DARE officer for many years. Upon retirement, he worked for Homeland Security. Ronald received a bachelor's degree from the Northeastern University. He was a member of the Stoughton VFW. Ron was an accomplished golfer with a 2 handicap and enjoyed playing at DW Park Golf Course. He died peacefully on November 18, 2018, and is buried at the Massachusetts Cemetery in Bourne.
My name is Nick Anastas. I'm a retired master officer in the Marine Corps. I lived in Stoughton for 31 years from 1984 to 2015. I now live in Bridgewater. Ron was a good friend of mine. I first met him in 1975 when he joined the Marine Corps Reserves down at Naval Air Station South Weymouth, and he worked for the Indian Communication Section. And we knew each other for many, many years. My children grew up in Stoughton. They went to Stoughton High School, and the police commissioner went to school with my son Nick. Quick story about Ron. Ron told me that while he was on active duty, his contract was going to be coming up soon, and the recruiter said to him, we'd like you to stay on, Sergeant Drago, and we'd like you to be on list, and we'll promote you to the rank of Staff Sergeant, and we'll also give you sea duty. And he said, thank you, but no thank you. I want to go back to Stoughton and become on the police department again. So he said, it's the best decision I ever made in my life. And he said, because the ship that they wanted to assign me to was the USS Pueblo. Now, for those of you who are too young to remember the Pueblo, it was a spy ship, the United States spy ship that was captured by the North Koreans. Several of the members died on that ship. They were killed, and several of them were interned in prison for 2 years. So that's my story about one.
1969 to September 1st, 1971. He served on the U.S. Harry E. Yarnell as a boatswain's mate. Craig was awarded the National Defense Service Medal. Craig was also a Stoughton police officer for a lot of years.
We have one that
One holdover
unfortunately couldn't make it the first ceremony, so he is here today.
with the family of Bob Watson. Come on up. Bob Watson enlisted in the United States Marine Corps Reserve in June 15, 1943 at the age of 18. He obtained the rank of private first class before he was honorably discharged in 1945 at the end of World War II. Robert served his country proudly and his flag. As a radio gunner in the Pacific Theater during the Second World War, while fighting the Pacific, he flew 195.8 hours as a crew member on an SPD-6 with the 1st Marine Aircraft Wing. During his time, he received the Air Medal with 8 gold stars and a Distinguished Flying Cross with 1 star for the completion of over 55 missions. After returning home, he married Roberta Myers in 1947 and had 2 children. The family moved to Stoughton in 1951 and never left. Robert belonged to the VFW 1645, Stoughton Fish and Game, C.W. Welsh, the Masonic Temple, and served as a member of the Stoughton Conservation Commission. He spent many days helping the community he lived in, whether it was by helping with Meals on Wheels or just walking the grounds of the Stoughton Fish and Game and Stoughton Conservation Land, making sure the bird feeders were all stocked. A memorial square for Robert Watson is located at the corner of Ash Park Drive and Ash Street.
Just one more thing before we wrap up. We have a lot of questions about the next round of banners. The next order we'll be putting in March of 2025. March 1st is the deadline, so if you know of anyone or if the application's in before then, we're going to accept them all year round. Hopefully we'll have just another big order like this one. So again, thank you all for coming.